Hi, welcome to Get You Great. I'm Irene, your coach, and I am now going to welcome you to the program. At this point, you might be feeling a little overwhelmed, and like I said in the document, that is completely normal. I don't want you to panic. I just want you to relax and know that I am here to help ease your mind and to help you understand that this process is one that will work best if you begin with a soft start. Most of you have met me via a Zoom conference, and if you haven't yet, I encourage you to set one up after you have read this packet. And what I want to do right now is take a minute to go through and explain how the meal plan works. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up the onboarding guide and share the screen with you so that I can show you the portion of the plan that discusses the essential and the non-essential ingredients that I want you to focus on at this moment. So at this point, I am going to share the onboarding guide. At this point, you've read all of this. I want to bring to your attention to do your measurements. So often people don't do their measurements and they regret that. Make sure you've done your checklist here. Very important. The MyFitnessPal is also very important. I need to hear from you at this point with your calorie amount that might or might not be the one that I keep you at. And all of that information is in the second checklist. When you've gotten down to this area here, that is where we are right now, okay? Now, moving forward, as you continue to read all of this information is very important. However, I don't expect you to retain it all. Use this as a guide. This talks about the proteins, it talks about the fats, it talks about the carbs. But what I've done is, as you continue to scroll, I've created two lists for you, and this is on pages 16 and 17. The essential ingredients and the non-essential ingredients. And what I like to do is introduce these as the must-haves and the accessories. We have our must-have ingredients. These are the ingredients that we are not allowed to omit. And we have the non-essential ingredients. Again, the accessories, the fun accessories to the meal that we can omit. These non-essential ingredients will not impact your progress or slow down your weight loss, okay? These do appear on your meal plan because they are fun, just like accessories are fun. Necklaces, rings, watches, they're fun. Do we need them? We do not, okay? So going back to the essential ingredient list. When you are looking at your meal plan, you'll notice that there are proteins, there are carbohydrates, and there are fats listed in every meal. And I'm going to open that up in a second to show you. Anytime you see an essential ingredient, you are not to omit it. However, you could, if you wanted to, substitute it, okay? And so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to open up the meal plan and show you a demonstration of that, okay? So sharing a new screen here. I'm going to open up the month 1 meal plan. And right away, I'm going to go to the first recipe, awesome oats. All right, so in the beginning, you have initially a difficult time identifying essential from non-essential. If you follow the meal plan as is, you're going to have a higher success rate. However, you might get tired of eating the same awesome oats every single day. Well, as you acclimate yourself to the program, you'll notice that the walnuts here appear on your essential list as a essential ingredient. It is a healthy fat, but you'll also notice that you can substitute one healthy fat for a different one. So if you didn't want to have walnuts every single day, you can sub that out for a different one. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you how you can do that. So going back to my list here, you can see by looking at my healthy fats, I have nut and butter. I could substitute those walnuts for any other nut I want. In fact, I can substitute the nuts for peanut butter, almond butter, cashew butter. I can substitute the nuts for hemp seeds, chia seeds, anything on this list here, I can substitute. And knowing here that 1 tablespoon of walnuts equals the equivalent of 1 tablespoon of all of these. So instead of omitting, you are to substitute. You might recall by looking at that picture that there were apples in that recipe. The recipe here, if you notice, that fruit nowhere falls in the essentials, but fruit does fall in the non-essentials. And if you are wanting to swap out the fruit, you can exchange fruit for any other fruit. So if you want to exchange the apple for blueberries, you can. However, because they are non-essentials, and if you're reading on to page 18, you could actually omit the fruit completely. And what that means is you don't need the fruit. You'll have extra calories left at the end of the day for something else, which comes into play later. The accumulation of those leftover calories will add up, and you can use them however you want, for that glass of wine, for that latte, for that cookie, as long as it doesn't impact your progress. Now, going back to that meal plan, I want to point out that you cannot substitute out an essential ingredient for those extra calories. So you are not to pull out the walnuts, that's essential. You are not to pull out the oats, that's essential. That would be like saying you don't need your shirt or you don't need your pants. Those are essentials. But the accessories are the non-essentials. And I will go over this a little bit more as we progress into the program. All right, so the next thing I want to point out is as you scroll through your meal plan, you'll notice that there are 5 breakfasts, 5 snacks, 5 lunches, 10 dinner recipes, and there is a chart for you to create your own dinner. So before I get to that, I want to point out that your snack, typically most people will have room in their budget for 2 snacks. You have a caloric budget that I have to approve, and that is one of the items on the checklist, so be sure that you do that. And you have to make sure that you have a snack that will fit into that budget. So if you are trying to fit in a morning snack, an afternoon snack, and a bedtime snack, you might not have enough calories in your budget to do so. I tell people that is like going shopping and you have X amount of dollars to spend. You might not be able to go shopping at every store and purchase something at every store. You have to make smart choices and spread your time wisely so that you don't run out of money or, in this case, calories. Initially, you might be a little hungry, and if you want to supplement your snack with some green or white vegetables, this is also in your guide. You can certainly do that. All right, so moving on to the dinner. If you don't want to use one of the dinner recipes, you can make your own dinner. And there is a chart that will show you how to do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to the meal plan so that I can show you that. So scrolling all the way down to the dinners, you'll notice at the end, right before we get to those dinners, It talks about that you can use, first off, anything from the blog. There's a blog on my website, and if you click on this link, it will take you there. You can use any of those recipes off the blog. I apologize, I think I have it at the end of the meal plan. Okay, so if you want to create your own dinner, this is how you do it. You have this checklist. You must have a protein, and here's the criteria, a healthy fat, here's the criteria, a complex carb, and a vegetable, okay? You can also add non-dinner essentials. Again, the accessories. This would be your barbecue sauce, your salad dressing, your blank, tomato sauces, marinades, so on and so forth, okay? So now I've created a chart for you. And on this chart, the items that are shaded in green are the essentials. So to create your own dinner, you have to pull something from the protein, something from the fat, something from the carb to create your own dinner. So if you wanted to make a dinner without using one of my dinners, and let's just say it was going to be a steak dinner, your steak would be your protein. Men get 6 ounces, women get 4. Your carb could be your potato. And according to these parameters, carb is between 100 and 120 calories. So it could be a baked potato, it could be a sweet potato, it could be baked French fries, it could be mashed potato, as long as it's 120 calories worth. Your healthy fat needs to be something from this category here. So you could have a side of avocado, some olives, some olive oil. And if you're having vegetables, which is down here, you can certainly drizzle the olive oil on your vegetables, and that takes care of your vegetables. And now you have your dinner. If you wanted to put some um, butter on your mashed potato or some sour cream on your mashed potato, you can do that. It comes from your non-essentials. You have 100 to 150 calories that you can do that with. But again, you have to make sure that you budget it in, and you have to make sure that you are measuring it and that you are logging it, because it's the non-essentials that typically get us into trouble. So that's how you create your own dinners. And the dinner recipes sometimes can overwhelm people because of all the ingredients. I'm working with a vast majority of people that some like to cook and some don't. So if you feel that they are overwhelming for you, if you feel that you look at them and the ingredients look overbearing, please reach out to me and I will send you a modified kindergarten version of how to make them, because really they are quite easy, and you can simply prepare them by putting them in the crock pot, and you can do away with a lot of those steps. So I hope this video helped, and I'll let you continue on with your reading. So make sure you complete the